Hey, this is Jeremy with Strength in Numbers. Buying is always smarter than renting, right? Maybe, maybe not. We're going to talk about that today. So if you've been alive for very long, you've probably had one or more people tell you, you need to buy a house. You need to buy a house like right now. It's a great investment. It's part of the American dream and all these other things that are true, but not for everybody and not all the time and not in all circumstances. So I want to walk you through today a side-by-side comparison here of renting versus buying and shed some light on this issue. So when it comes to renting and when it comes to buying, we have the fixed cost of the actual rent or the mortgage every month. And we have our fixed cost of utilities, which those vary, but we still have utilities every month. We don't have them some months. And so with renting, we've got the amount that we're paying the landlord, and with a mortgage, we've got the mortgage amount plus the escrow, which usually includes the taxes and insurance, but not always necessarily the insurance. But most people look at the cost of rent, and they look at the cost of mortgage, including taxes and insurance, whether it's in escrow or not, and they say, it's the same amount of money or close to the same amount of money. Why am I wasting my money throwing it away in rent, right? But there's a lot of things that are being missed there, and I go over these with every client that I work with. So for utilities, we have almost every rental situation covers cold water. That's not a cost of yours. Heating may or may not be included. In a lot of cases, it's not. And then electricity is separate, whether that is part of heating or not. But you always have an electric bill. So you don't have to pay for water, you might have to pay for heat, and you definitely have to pay for electricity. However, on the homeowner's side, you always have to pay for your own water bill, which is also including the super bill. Purple is going to represent things that are additional here for a homeowner. You definitely have to cover your own heat, whether or not it's electric, and you definitely have to pay your own electric bill. But the joys of being a homeowner don't stop there. You also have homeowner's insurance, of course, as factored into this, which is higher than you would pay for renter's insurance for good reason. You may or may not have a personal umbrella policy, also known as a PUP, which is a smart thing to have if you're a homeowner for liability's sake, and it's pretty inexpensive, but still an extra cost. But then you've got to do the actual upkeep. You've got to mow the lawn. You've got to plow the driveway if you live in somewhere that's not tropical and we secretly are jealous of you. You've got to take care of the garden or anything, the chimney, the servicing of the furnace, the boiler, all these different things that come with upkeep. Oh, and that roof that costs several thousands of dollars several years, but you still got to pay for all those things. You own the property. And even if you cut the lawn yourself and plow yourself, you've got costs associated with that, even if they're marginal. And then maintenance, when you need to do a repair and when you do need to update that roof and all these different things that come with being a homeowner. You don't get to call the landlord and have him pay for the plumber. You get to pay for the plumber. On average, those costs are usually an additional $200 a month from what I see working with homeowners. And then there's some things that may or may not pop up. You may live in an area that has a homeowners association. You may not. I definitely don't recommend one. You may have pest problems, you may not. So there's a lot of additional costs here. And too often people are looking at the rent versus the mortgage situation and saying, why am I wasting my money on rent? But if you're not in the right position to be able to be a homeowner and be ready to be a homeowner, then all these extra costs are not going to be worth the trade-off for you, and it's not going to be a long-term investment. And that doesn't even factor in if you don't stay in the house long enough for it to become an actual investment and gain equity. If you're moving too soon, there's a lot of factors that come in being a homeowner. So yes, is it a good long-term investment? Absolutely, if you are going to stay at long-term and you are able to shoulder the extra costs that come with that over time will pay itself back. But it's not just a simple buy a house. There's a lot more detail to that, and this is just the tip of the iceberg. If you'd like to know exactly how much of your income your rent and or mortgage should be, because unfortunately a lot of mortgage lenders are approving you for too much of your income, then set a free consultation with me. I'd love to talk through exactly how it fits your needs and your financial situation, and we can really see the big picture, not just one isolated topic. Book that consultation right on my website. You can do that from any computer or mobile device. And while you're there, grab my free ebook that will go over many different areas that you're already spending in. One is which is utilities, and you can see how to save in those areas. This is Jeremy with Strength in Numbers, keeping your wallet heavy and your heart light.